Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Silent Goose here, and today we will be talking about ranged weapons. So there are three main ranged weapons that you would use, not including the potions. So we have the crossbow, the bow, and the trident. First we have the bow. The bow, it's the most iconic one, and it's pretty useful, and I'm pretty sure that everybody used it at least once, and it has a decent amount of damage. Next we have the crossbow, which came in a newer update, the Village and Pillage, which can be loaded by just holding it down, and it can shoot an arrow like that. And this one does 9 damage. Next we have the trident, another new one. This weapon can be used as a melee attack, or it can be thrown. Now, just looking at these stats here, you can tell that the crossbow is the strongest one. Well, that may be the case, but there are things called enchantments. So over here we have the enchantments and the different damages that they do. First off, we have the bow with flame, unbreaking punch, power, and infinity. And this does 15 damage plus the 4 damage from the flame over 5 seconds, which is a very powerful bow. Okay, next we have the crossbow with unbreaking, quick charge, multi-shot. This one, it doesn't actually get any actual damage changes, but instead, it can shoot 3 different targets, which isn't the best in PvP, but if you're trying to knock out like 3 targets or multiple targets at once, it is the best choice in my understanding. Next, we have the trident. The trident is very circumstantial, and usually it doesn't do more than the 8 damage plus the 5, but in a thunderstorm, you can get that extra 5 damage from the thunder and the fire damage. We can do some fat damage. Here, let me show you over here. So as you can see, in a thunderstorm, you can actually do extra damage from the thunder, and it also sets them on fire, and it sometimes also breaks the block, and this all requires, and this does a fat amount of damage. So those are the damages. As you can see, in very rare circumstances, the trident is the best one, but in general, with 19 damage over 5 seconds, you have the bow, and when you're trying to deal mass damage, the crossbow is your friend. Now, as may have you already known, there are tipped arrows. Tipped arrows are arrows that inflict a status condition. Over here we have the poison arrows, which deal 3 damage over 2 seconds. Over here we have the instant damage / harming potions, which do 12 damage, just the raw 12 damage. And over here we have the arrow of decay, which does 1 damage per second, totaling up to 5 damage in 5 seconds. In my opinion, these are the most powerful ones, and they each can be used in certain circumstances. But for this video, we will be using the arrows of decay. Without further ado, I would like to show you, in my opinion, which ones are the most useful in certain circumstances and how good they are in certain circumstances, and I will be also totaling up how good they are in general. So obviously, with the power 5, the bow comes at the top, dealing a massive 24 damage in under 5 seconds. Next, we have the trident. The trident itself isn't really amazing, but the enchanted version does some fat damage in under very rare circumstances. Next, we have the crossbow. Technically, the crossbow does the most total damage, but it's very hard to use since you need 3 different targets to get off all the damage. There are also the stats with the arrows of decay. The bow comes out with 24 damage in 5 seconds, and the crossbow does 14 damage in 5 seconds and it shoots 3. So realistically, you can do some fat damage, some really fat damage with this crossbow. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Bye!